Hello, I'm Camilla, and today we are going to sketch a daisy. Yeah, I love daisies, and they are just so cute, and they're everywhere in the lawns at the moment. So I thought it would be very fitting now that we are entering into spring and soon summer. And I actually love daisies so much because of the simplicity, and you can change them up in so many ways that I actually included them as the first project in my book, Ink and Wash Florals. So you can see it here. And that's because this is actually the simplest shape, the one that we almost learn when we when we start in kindergarten. We have the circle and then we have the petals around. But I'm going to, I want to take it from the book and just take it step by step and show you how I sketch daisies and how we can take it from simple to absolutely gorgeous. So now we have it all set up here to sketch our daisy, and I'm just going to find it here. Familiar daisy. There we have it. The flower of purity. And this is just the cutest little flower, and I absolutely love it, and it's so simple. So we're just going to start out. I think I'm just going to follow the steps here and see where it takes us. So just starting out with a center here and a circle around it, and don't be careful, don't freak out too much if the circle is not really round or whatever. That doesn't matter. We're going to erase it afterwards anyways. So this is perfect. Remember, this is the center, and this is for the petals. I actually think I'm gonna make the center a little bit bigger. There we go. And now I'm going to grab my 01 and just starting here in the middle to do a petal all the way to the edge. And now we can just start out by doing 4, so we kind of have an idea of how long we want them and where we want them. And then we can just fill in the blanks. Just make sure you are keeping some of them shorter. So for example, this one could be shorter and tucked behind. And some of them could have a small dent, or could just be a little smaller, or just try to see if you can vary them in different ways. And it's totally okay if there is small holes, gaps between some of the petals. And that is just going to make it look more realistic. No flower in the world has ever been perfect. So of course we want to just relax and do our flowers the way we want it, and not be super scared that they are not perfect, because that would be perfect to have a flower that's not perfect. Does that make sense? I hope. In my head it makes sense. Which is not always how it works in other people's heads, but that is okay, I guess. I'm just going to do one more over here, and now we kind of have 2 gaps here and there, and that is fine. I think I'm actually going to, just for the fun of it, make a petal here that is kind of just going that way. That looks kind of cool. This is just to give it, this one would be a petal that is kind of just, I don't know, wilting a little bit. We can give it a little bit of a shape afterwards. So that is all we need. And let's see. See, that was step 3. Step 4 is draw small doodles with your 01 fineliner. Okay, cool. We can do that. So, I think the author is really giving us a lot of great tips here. Did you get the book yet? I'd love to hear and how you like it. I personally love it, but I am kind of biased in that since I wrote it. So just small doodles, C shapes, to kind of make a texture here in the center. And you can finish it off by just adding a few dots to give not everything a texture, but just a little bit here in the center. And you can actually just to, I'm not writing this in the book, but if you want a little bit more depth, you can just go around the outer edge here again and just create a little bit more doodles. And this will give it a little bit more depth. So that is kind of cool, in my opinion. And then we want to grab our 005 fineliner. This is the one. And give our petals a little bit of shape. So starting at the center and going out, following the shape of the petal and going from the outer edge and inside. And then just kind of going around, adding shape to as many petals as you like. You don't have to do it with all. Often it's actually great if you don't do these with all of the petals, because that could overwhelm, and especially because we're often going with a less is more here in my world. You want to think about how little can you actually do before the person in front of you will see that this is a daisy. Just adding a bit more, and I think that might just be good. Maybe just adding a little bit to this one. Kind of want to take a small step back and see if there's a cluster where there's absolutely no detail at all. Then you want to maybe add a little bit, but just to keep it a little bit more cohesive. So this is kind of our daisy, and we can add just a tad of dark spots with a 02, just in areas where we can add a little bit of dark spots in the center for a little bit of shadow. Don't think too much about this. And then where you have overlapping petals, and that is fine. Really don't be scared of shadows and thinking, oh no, I don't know where the sun is coming from, or if it's a cloudy day or whatever. Don't think about it, and at some point it'll come natural to you. So now we have our fineliner sketch, and we are ready to get rid of this sketch. And I just have an eraser here, completely normal eraser, to remove the pencil lines. So sorry for the shake. Go, and just removing the ones I have here in the center. I think this is looking pretty good. Now we want to add that final pop of color, and as you can see here, it's actually just one step to add the color. So I'm just going to close the book and grab my size 4. And then we want to add new Gamboge to this center. So I'm just loading my brush with a new Gamboge and dropping it in here. And this is wet on dry. Just putting it in here in center. Leaving white space, but still keeping it yellow. So adding paint, of course. And that is it. And now we can wait for a few seconds. You can do a quick stretch or pet your cat, or you can even take your phone and text a small cutie gift to your boyfriend or girlfriend. And after you've done that, we are around a drying time where this is not completely dry, but closer than when we started it. So now I'm going to put a little bit of water to the petals. So just wetting it here, and I'm wetting the entire petal here, and then just going so close that it will run a little bit into the water there. And I'll continue this on some of the petals, just wetting it and letting it touch. And here, there you go, and maybe that one, and try to make sure you're not making this too symmetrical. So right now it looks very symmetrical. I would always go with an uneven number of colored petals, and maybe not. So I think we are almost there. Remember, it dries up quite a lot more light. Dries out 10% lighter than when you apply it. So don't be scared of it looking very yellow at the moment. It's totally going to be totally fine. I think I'm actually going to, right now I'm just adding water to all the petals, but maybe not the ones in the back. So this will dry up and become very, very beautiful. And if you feel like it takes up a little bit too much paint color, you can always rinse your brush, dab it on your cloth, and lift a little bit of it up here, just like almost like a sponge. But don't do that too much, because we actually think it's very beautiful when we have color and it kind of does its own thing. So this is a daisy, and I hope you will try this. That was a lot of fun. I really like that book. I'm so glad someone wrote it. Sorry, I have to be. I love that book, and I'm so proud of it. So apologies for being excited about it. Not apologies. And look at the flower or the daisy we created. Let's see if I think it's really beautiful and so simple. I love how the colors are bleeding into the petals and just creating this very simple but also very, very beautiful flower. So I hope you will try this, and also that you want to check out my book if you haven't already. It's a great book. And if you already read it and want even more, then I have a beginner course in ink and wash, and I actually have quite a few tutorials, real-time tutorials in there as well. And also, of course, going over all the concepts and all the techniques in creating all these beautiful ink and wash flowers that I absolutely love. So I'll put a link for the book and the course here below so you can check that out. And then I want to just wish you a wonderful day and go out and sketch something, because at least here it's wonderful weather and it's sketching time. So have a wonderful day and I will see you around. Oh, and make sure to subscribe. You have to say that right here in the end of the video. So make sure to subscribe and I will see you around.